Hey guys, Tom itself here with a few thoughts on YouTube. Recently it's been the dry season. September is always a little slow, people going back to school, weather's nice out, views drop off, and we wait for the big releases that start coming up. We already had Grand Theft Auto, we're going to get some Beyond 2 Souls here before too long. We got the Battlefield 4 beta in full swing today. But for now, things are still building up, and so I thought I'd post just a collection of thoughts. I took some notes and tried to organize things, make some sense out of it, and just think about where YouTube's been, where it's going, and, well, that might influence how I decide to do things on my channel. It might not. I tend to just kind of do whatever I think is going to be fun at the time. Anyway, here we go. What do you think of when you think of gaming on YouTube? Is it Let's Plays, reactions, scare cams, playthroughs, walkthroughs, tutorials? Is it trolling, griefing, or just game trailers, news, reviews, random commentaries like this one? Maybe just tips and tricks or analysis? Or maybe just how gaming stuff relates to real life. There is a ton of stuff that is encompassed by gaming on YouTube. And in the end, it's all about just gaming, the escapism of it, the empowerment, and all the fun and entertaining stuff and engaging videos you can make about gaming. But what can get kind of awkward and feel strange is when people from outside of the gaming community on YouTube assume that the people who are doing really well, who are really popular, represent all of the possible things that you could do with gaming on YouTube. And no one who really follows gaming on YouTube would tell you that that's the case. There is so much stuff out there. And that's been one of the major appeals of YouTube all along, is that you don't have to find a huge audience in order to post videos that at least some people will find and enjoy. You really only have to look back 2 years when post commentary was still very much the leading thing for gaming on YouTube, and if you'd told anyone that what is popular now would become popular, they'd look at you like, really? How is that a thing? Because at the time, uploading longer videos was strange. A lot of people couldn't upload videos more than 10 minutes. And now we have long episodic content that YouTube really encourages. That's what they push, and people will watch it. And at the time, it was like, you're going to watch dozens and dozens of videos in a series, and each of them are going to be 15 minutes plus long? Is that really going to happen? And yes, it has. We've also seen a pretty significant shift away from the network, like Machinima that I'm with, being the major promoter and the major central hub for a lot of stuff, to where individual channels, generally based around a single personality, are really what bring people in and are what build the channels. But YouTube is still changing. YouTube is going to keep changing, and Google is going to keep trying to make as much money as possible on YouTube. It's one of the big reasons they keep changing around that recommended videos algorithm, because they're trying to figure out how to get you to keep on watching and watch more ads. And they are showing a lot more ads than they were a couple of years ago. It's a lot easier to get partnered, either just straight through YouTube or with a network, and start showing ads on your videos. And there's an interesting dynamic between supply and demand going on there. But, you know, I digress. One of the crazy things is that most YouTubers really aren't sure of what the rules are, where they should be going with things, what the best way to do things is, and you get kind of strange situations. May not agree with me here, but this is how I see this particular one. A year ago or so, Raw Instinct got called out for, not really copying, but kind of, I would liken it to rewriting a press release, except instead of it being news-related stuff, it would be gameplay-related stuff, tips and tricks kind of things. And the community at large had a pretty harsh and vocal backlash against that. It said basically, we expect more creativity in these kinds of things. If we wanted to watch this stuff, we just go get it straight from the horse's mouth, from the guy who made the video first, instead of watching your version of it. And now that seems as obvious as saying, well, you shouldn't post a review of a game which you've hardly played, or you shouldn't post an incomplete tutorial that'll just leave people frustrated. That's not good. Okay, that doesn't cover all the details, not entirely accurate, but it really gets into we don't quite know where this whole YouTube thing is headed, and we're basically just reacting to what's becoming popular, what people seem like they want to see. And if you can come up with something that's going to be the next big thing, well, then you're one step ahead of everybody else. Anyway, as we're seeing lots of this longer form episodic stuff, limited explanation going in, personal preference, I like a little bit of an introduction, lots more live commentary, not so much exposition. we're also seeing lots more of live streaming. And so that's, I don't know, I would describe it as, hey, come on, let's hang out and let's play video games. And that's a lot of the appeal, I think. Just let's go hang out and play video games and have fun. I think that's a lot of the appeal of a lot of the really popular stuff that's going on right now. Now, you start to see a bit more separation in a lot of these channels between just straight up live streaming content, but if they're going to post a video later, it'll actually get edited a fair amount. And well, I guess that's one of the things you get when you get to work on YouTube videos all day. But still, right now, there is very much a consensus on the best way to do a live stream. If you go over to twitch.tv and flip through some of those popular gaming channels, you'll notice they have a lot in common. Your streamer is also your player. They have a basic face cam, even though they rarely directly address the camera. There's usually a little bit of background music going on that you may or may not like. Personal preference again, I know. And in a lot of cases, it's really hard to get into watching one of those unless you're already really familiar with the game. So they're not there to teach you how to play. They're not there providing the, I guess, caster commentary. That's a different kind of thing. And for whatever reason, right now, that is what live streaming is for gaming. And I have to ask, do you think it's going to be the same in 2 years? In 5 years? I don't expect so. It's the old adage, the only constant is change. The only question is, where is it going, and how do you get ahead of that curve? I guess I should also mention that it's not like everything becomes the new most popular thing. It's just that the people who tend to start out at that time, that's what they tend to do. So you'll still see lots of people doing standard old post commentaries like this one, but I bet you a lot of the people starting out doing YouTube right now are going to start with live commentaries and Let's Plays. It's not that the old stuff goes away. In fact, it's still quite popular. There's the big stuff, the most popular, and what is the most influential, it keeps changing. And so I expect that the current trend of Let's Plays and live comms will shift somewhat. That stuff will still stay popular, people will enjoy watching it, but it's not necessarily going to be the thing that really defines and is the most popular part of gaming on YouTube. Something else will find a way to take its place. So I was brainstorming, contemplating, just thinking to myself, what are some of the ways that we might possibly see some indications that we've reached peak Let's Play, just in terms of influence in gaming on YouTube. Well, one of the things that I think is crazy, but popped into my head, was what if we get games that include Let's Play dynamic soundtrack that respond to your actions and either scream or taunt or just mutter at you random things about what's going on? What if you could have your favorite Let's player commentating your gameplay as you play it in the comfort of your living room? How does that sound? Another possibility would be a significant shift in how publishers relate to Let's Players, especially the blind day one kind who just pick up the newest game and start posting episodes on YouTube. It's not going away. I think publishers understand how useful that advertising is, but still you could see some changes, and that might point to a shift, though I really think it's going to be from within Google and YouTube, and somewhat just audience interest that we're really going to see the shift in interests change. Right now, the idea of a network hub or someone who collects and curates a collection of videos isn't really that popular, and you mostly see the people saying you're leeching off other people's videos. You get top 10 collections for clips from games, and it's actually a ton of work to go through, watch all of those, and then rank them, especially when you get hundreds and hundreds of entries. That still seems to be a limited thing, but if we're ever going to see anything like network hub channels come back, that would be a major change. One of the things that I can see really starting that off is YouTube's move to Google Plus and the new comments system. We don't quite know how it's going to work out yet, and I think it's going to keep changing, but it will bring some new things to YouTube. For example, right now, you can't post any kind of links into a YouTube comment. It just tells you no, you can't do it. You can't even link to another YouTube video or playlist, despite it being on YouTube. Now, there's a fairly standard way to actually communicate what you're trying to get. You just post the last part of the URL and the watch tag on, and people copy that and paste it into their browser, and off they go. But why doesn't YouTube let you actually link to stuff? You know, they could use their system to give you the information about that video, like here's the video, here's how put the title, here's how popular it is, here's the channel that posted, here's the day, all that kind of stuff, all that information that might actually make you want to go watch a video that someone posted in the comments that wasn't just there because they were spamming it. No, you can't do that. You just gotta... that is one of those things that will improve the social aspect of YouTube and could possibly drive us, maybe shift things a little further away from the personality-based channels that we have right now. On a personal note, one of the things I really find annoying is that when you see the like button, they actually want it to mean share button. That's what Facebook did. It's the same button now, I think. Hey, I want to tell the person who made the thing that, yes, I like it, not, I want to share this with all my friends. That's, that doesn't quite work, but whatever, I digress. Part of the difficulty comes in that it's so hard to find new stuff that you'd actually like or be interested in. The recommended engine tries to do stuff, but it's pretty sketchy. You can't go browsing by category, or, you know, if you search for Call of Duty on YouTube right now, what are you gonna, even if you limit your search to today, you're not, odds are you're not gonna find something that interests you. That's just the way things go. You know, it's part of the, there are so many different ways to make gaming content, or any comment for that matter. For example, music. What kind of genre of music are you making? But the thing is, finding stuff that interests you is so difficult, and if Google could do better on YouTube, that would be great. And I know Google likes to automate everything, but at some point, maybe bringing people in to manage a collection makes sense. I mean, as someone who likes to browse around and look for new stuff, it's incredibly frustrating. There's a huge reliance on the title and the thumbnail to try and figure out what's going on, and those are pretty sketchy. A lot of channels, especially the really big ones, don't post very useful information in their descriptions. That seems to baffle me, but I guess that doesn't really hurt them. They'd rather post links to Facebook and Twitter to try and get the social media angle going instead of actually giving me a better description of what the video is. I guess that's streaming video for you. You just click on it and figure out what's going on. I really think a lot of it just comes down to making things as easy as possible for viewers. Easy for them to watch the people they're subscribed to find new videos that they're interested in watching, to share videos with friends, to comment, all that kind of stuff. I think that is the reason why video bumping was so despised, was because it didn't make things easier for viewers. They had to keep scrolling down, trying to figure out, oh, have I watched this on my feed yet or not? And that's why it got taken out, is because it made things more difficult for viewers. The same level, you set up expectations with thumbnails and titles and who you're subscribed to, and you try to follow through on those expectations, but if you don't, well, in part, you're making things more complicated for the viewers, and that really needs to be avoided. Anyway, I'm really not sure if there was much of a point, if this was really going anywhere, but I spent enough time on YouTube, start to think about all the little things, the interactions between YouTube, Google, the viewers, the content makers, the channels, and all that stuff, and think about where it's been and where it might be headed, so I figured I'd throw a video out there. At the end of the day, I think part of what inspired this is just this long-running feeling I have that if I ever post a montage and when it doesn't have quickscoping in it, people are looking at me like, what are you doing? That's not a montage. And I go, yes, it is a montage. It's got music and it's synced up and clips and yeah. So, I don't know. Again, YouTube is just all about making fun videos and sharing them with people, even if they aren't that popular or don't meet common definitions like montages without quickscoping. It's still a thing. Anyway, I think it's time for me to get back to playing the Battlefield 4 beta. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you found the video entertaining and interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.